Hello everybody, my name is Araceli and this is my husband Daryl. So
Hey.
Today we are going to be talking about how we retire in our early 40s. So you can start, honey.
Okay. All right, guys. First, it started off when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I developed a love for drafting, and I wanted to go to college for drafting. And so when I graduated, I went to college with my dad. He was also learning drafting, and quickly I ran out of money, and I decided to join the Air Force. Now, when I was in high school, I knew that the Air Force was a very good career for everything that they offered. They offered education benefits, health care, decent pay after a while. You know, it's a little slow getting started. You get to travel and see the world and get out of the environment that you're in. It's a professional work environment. And the last thing I really took advantage of were VA loans, and I'll talk about that more in a second here. But now, when I joined initially, I just wanted a good job. You know, I knew that the long-term benefits for the Air Force were there, and I knew they had excellent retirement benefits. I didn't know everything about my career in the future, you know, passive income. I didn't know about all that stuff. I just wanted a good career and good retirement for the future. And I joined the Air Force and never looked back. So I spent 22 years in the Air Force. I had an electronics degree. I really liked it. And retired, but I bought a house around the 15-year mark in my career, and it was sort of at a really bad time in my life. But my house was always my saving grace. I went through a divorce, and I knew that I wanted the house in the divorce. My ex could not afford the house. I knew that. And I barely could afford the house also. So what I ended up doing was renting half the house. It was a split floor plan with the master bedroom and a single car garage on one side, and it had the kids' bedrooms and a double car garage on the other side. So I sort of bunked with the kids on the one side when they were there temporarily, and I had the double car garage. So I rented the other side for $500 a month, and that saved me. And I was so bad, in such bad shape, I even had a Geo Metro, you know, and I had a donut tire on my Geo Metro, the little tiny saucer tire on that car, because I couldn't even afford to replace the tire, which was $40. And there I was 15 years into my career, and I could not, well, maybe it was 12 years, but I could not afford a tire for my car because of the bad situation I was in financially. See, around 2007, the Air Force offered me an early retirement option. And over the long term, it was not a very good option, but they enabled people to receive about $35,000 in exchange for a lower retirement in the future. And because I had so much debt, I decided to take that option. A lot of people were saying, no, don't do it. You know, it's going to be bad for you. I knew that I would be in a better place financially if I ever wanted to buy a house in the future. And I wanted to. So it worked. I paid off my debt. I was divorced. You know, I just tried to remove all the negativity in my life and just move forward. And so around that time, also, my mom received inheritance from her grandfather when he passed away. Or I'm sorry, my grandfather and her father when he passed away. And she entrusted me with the money, and we went out and bought a house. And to this day, I'm still investing with her or for her. So any money that is received from that investment goes back to her. So that was really nice to be able to do that with her and for her. So it is a house in my name, and it looks great on my credit, but I don't receive any money for it. So any money that is received, I give it back to her. So actually, my first rental property was my mom's. Around that time, I had an assignment to Ohio. So in 2009, I received an assignment to Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and it was only a 3-year mandatory move assignment. So that what that meant was that I was only going to be there for 3 years. And so what I wanted to do was buy a little house for about $40,000. And I was thinking, well, if I throw $1,000 a month at this house, I could pay it off in 3 years. I could sell it when I move, and then I would have $30,000 in my pocket. You know, of course, there's realtor fees and stuff like that. However, the market was not the same as Phoenix. So when Phoenix bottomed out in 2009, Columbus bottomed out in about 2012. And so it was around that time I was about to move, and I decided, you know, it was just not a good idea to sell the house. Not only that, but I was fixing up the house. I put in new windows, new bathroom, new flooring. So how could I sell a house for, believe it or not, it was, you know, like $20,000 if I put so much money into it? It just didn't make sense. So we decided to rent it. And because we were probably going to leave the area, we decided to rent it to Section 8. Now, in 2012, my wife and I married, and
that's the part where I come from. Like,
yeah.
I come from Nicaragua. I am Araceli. My name is Araceli. I am from Nicaragua, and I met this wonderful person in 2011.
Okay.
So in 2012, we got married here in the United States, and that's gonna be another video because it's another story how we met each other. So he was living in that property that is still rented for Section 8, and what happened next?
We were looking at, well, at the time we were driving, I was driving about 45 minutes to work, and we were in a bad area, and I didn't intend to have a family in that little house. It was a bad area. So when Araceli came to the United States, we started looking for another place to live that was closer to work, that was safer and bigger and had a garage and stuff like that. So we started looking around, and we were looking for, at first I was looking at this fourplex, and my realtor was a little slow, and we missed the opportunity for a fourplex. But we did jump on a really nice luxury duplex. What do you think? Is it pretty nice?
It's very fantastic. It's a duplex that has, each side has 1,500 square feet, mm-hmm. and it has a wonderful bedroom, and even the master bedroom is so amazing that I probably will never find the same closet anymore, even in this house we are. But it's been so good to have that duplex because it brings money to our pocket.
You know, it's not making us rich, but for small-time investors like ourselves, you know, it was really great for us. The VA loan is a very good system for veterans because not only are you allowed to buy more than once, but it's not required to have very much money. In fact, the first loan is almost no money. And then after that, you know, there's funding fees and stuff like that. But the VA loan allows you to continue buying over and over again. So with the duplex we bought with a VA loan.
We were living, after buying the duplex, we were living there for 6 months. And then he received the last assignment, and they sent us to Virginia. Mm-hmm. So we took advantage about the assignment that we pretty much knew about it a little bit. And we applied for another loan. And when we went to Virginia, we bought another house. So we bought pretty much 3, like the duplex is like 2 houses plus the Section 8 house, the small one is 3, and the one in Virginia is number 4 because it's pretty much 4 houses in less than maybe 8 months, in less than maybe 2 years. In less than 2 years.
Yeah, we moved to Virginia and we began fixing up the house just like we fixed up the house in Columbus. The purpose of us trying to fix it up like that was to try to get higher rents, to try to match our mortgage payment. So with the 15-year mortgage, we had a higher mortgage payment, and so we wanted to be competitive with that house, and so to try to break even at least. And to this money, to this day, that house is not making money. But because it's a 15-year loan, we're basically treating it like a savings plan. Now, they're paying, the tenant is paying, I don't know, maybe 95%. When I retired from the Air Force, we decided to come back to Ohio to maintain the properties that we have here and to try to get a job. And I was a little, undecided, a little wishy-washy with the career choice and the employer that I went with, and it didn't really work out. And but I pretty much had one foot in real estate already. So we currently have 3 VA loans. We have the Columbus house, we have the duplex, and the one in Virginia. Now our VA loan is maxed out, so we cannot use the VA program anymore unless we go to a more expensive area, because the VA loan does depend on where you are, or the maximum entitlement depends on where you are. So because we're in a cheap area, they will only give us like $450,000 of loan insurance, or and if we want something more than that, then we have to go to an expensive area like California or New York or something like that. So anyway, we're in Columbus, or we're in the Ohio area, and we bought this house, another 15-year loan. We started working and it didn't work out with my employer, and that was it. So we were nervous. We were really, we were really nervous at that point. And on top of that, I could not get unemployment. Ohio has a rule that if we received any kind of pension, and within 18 months of receiving that pension, we could not receive unemployment. So, and I tried telling them that, the retirement for the military is the same, and it doesn't matter if you're 1 month retired or 10 years retired, your payment's going to be the same, and I'm in financial need. And the answer was no. So they gave me it was like $40 of unemployment, just some ridiculous amount. And so I never asked for it again. But we, one way or another, we just kept making adjustments. Like we would get our tax refund back, and we would have some money, and then we would make another investment, and then we would save up, and then make another investment, or we'd get another job, and then we didn't like the job, and then we make another investment.
Yeah.
So on and on and on, and now we have 12 homes, and we have military retirement, and we don't work. So it's really strange, but
we even have a house that we call the risky house, because when he lost the last job he had, we had some savings plus some taxes return, and we decided to use that money to invest in another property. And I was telling him we had to do it. We found a house, very cheap house, and that was everything we have at the moment, savings and the taxes money, and we decided to invest in that house. So we bought the house very, very cheap for like $26,000, and we invest about 10,000 more, like 10,000 more
credit card.
with credit card. So we try to update the property with the credit card, and plus our savings. We paid the house cash with our savings, and with the credit card we invest in the house to make it better and rent it better. The house was rented for $450 a month. So we renovate the property so nice that we rented for $750, and it's been rented like almost 2 years ago for $750 a month. So we call that house the risky house because that was the money we have, but it's making money, and it was another income for us. So we decided to buy it. Okay, taking the risk, we're gonna do it, and we made it. So still we are alive here. We are not losing our credit. We are not missing the money, and the house is rented. It's wonderful. It's great.
Mm-hmm. So we kept going with that, and we kept finding these houses that are, you know, $30,000 and stuff like that. But now what we've been doing is considering looking on Facebook, because you know we've been doing renovations and demolition and things like that for other people, and we started thinking, man, you know, these houses are terrible. So you know, there's some houses that are similar to this that are being sold by the owner for $5,000, $10,000, and we even saw a duplex for $7,000. And you know, we didn't jump on it. We probably should, but it disappeared. And you know, with everything that we're doing, we could renovate that duplex and then probably make $700 each side, and that's $1,400. You know, we're definitely proud of what we've done and where we're going in the future, and we wanted to share that with everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's been great, and everybody that is watching this video, take the advice, and if you have to take the recent things and doing something for your future, don't be afraid of the dark. You don't know what is. If you don't try to pass, we say in my country, if you don't try to pass the river, you don't know if you're gonna pass the river, and you don't know what is in the other side of the river. Just try to jump. Don't be afraid about anything, because if you are afraid, you will never try. You're not gonna try. You don't know what you can be able to do until you really put your foot on it and try and fly and do what you can do. So don't leave anybody make you feel afraid for things. Do what your heart is telling you. And we've been in the situation that without a job and saying, oh my God, what are we gonna do now? But he is a little bit more afraid than me. I am a very positive person. I am very positive for what is coming, and I always was, honey, don't worry, we're gonna do this and we're gonna be okay. And here we are. After we are married, we have already almost 7 years to be married. We are still alive. We still have food on our table. We have still our houses, and we don't work for anybody. And we are in our earliest 40s, so it's great.
It is great, definitely. One of the things I wanted to encourage everybody with is the military. Araceli is always talking about, oh man, I wish you were still in the military. It was a really good life, and you know, she to this day she misses traveling. She misses staying in the hotels and, you know, going for the long drives. And it sounds crazy, but people really, they kind of get addicted. You know, everybody kind of gets that itch to move and to pack up the truck and to go somewhere new and to, you know, find new adventures and excitement.
Still, I'm asking him like, okay, let's go to this weekend to the hotel. Let's drive the truck. And we went to Arizona the last year, and we were driving, and we were excited. I love wherever I go. I love to know places. I love to visit different places, and we were doing that a lot in the military, and I miss that. And still, we feel that we are gonna be very soon traveling more. And what the only thing that is stopping us is because we have our son still in high school, and we have to let him go to the college and see what we can do. But I see ourselves traveling more. Maybe you guys are gonna be with us in all the new adventures, and if we see another house, we buy another house, we're gonna show you, we're gonna share with you as well. So stay always in these videos.
So I want to encourage, you know, not only for the young adults to go into the Air Force, but also for the parents to encourage your kids to consider the option. And you know, we just had a tenant whose daughter went, who just actually she's in basic training right now, and this is one of the things I told her was, you know, you should at least join up just to get the heck out of here, you know, because like all of her friends, and she has like, you know, she was talking about 10 friends, and she said like 80% of them are pregnant, and you know, it just blows my mind, you know, and she was not, and she still had the opportunity to join the military. Very happy for them. And by the way, that's our Section 8 tenant. 10. Her daughter is in the Air Force. So, you know, I'm confident that, you know, that young lady will have a very good life, and probably a better life than her parents. But I still wanted to encourage everybody to invest in real estate. That is like the sort of like the second half of our retirement, or the second half of our lives. If you buy a house, you know, everybody knows that it's a good idea. Stop paying the landlord, us, right? Stop paying the man. Get that investment down for yourself. Make it good for you. And when you do that, don't stop. Do it again, again, and again. And once you get the ball rolling, like you have good credit and you buy a house, next year do it again. And I want to give just a little bit of advice with that. A lot of people say, how can I qualify for a second mortgage if I'm already paying for one? So what you do is, there's two ways you can do it. You can either say, I have someone who's interested in my house. In fact, they've already signed this agreement or this contract to rent my house, and they're ready to move in with this rental amount the second I move out. That should be good enough for you to qualify for your next house. Or another thing you could do is just move out. You know, if you have family in the area, move out of your house. It's like, you know, you can go move in with your parents for a couple months, rent your house, and then try again to qualify. Tell the bank that you qualify, and then you go out and get another loan.
And I want to say something as well. Don't think like because you have the bank approved a credit for $200,000, $300,000, don't go and buy the first house for $300,000. Try to buy the cheapest houses you can find, pay off the house or update the house, and you have the first one, and maybe you can keep going, because that loan, your payment is gonna be so cheap that every tenant will give you a lot more than when you need to pay to the bank every month. So don't buy the most expensive house in the beginning. You know that that's not gonna be your last house. That's not gonna be the house of your dreams. It's gonna be an investment. If you think like that, you can jump in any house for $40,000, for $35,000 house. In the end, with the years, you can have 10 houses that will pay your dream house. So take this as an advice as well.
Right, that's a really good point.
So thank you guys. We are gonna finish the video here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening us. I hope you can share this video with other people, especially those that are interested to invest in real estate. If we didn't, you can do it. So keep it up and dream and fly. Open your wings and fly up. Thank you so much.
If you guys have any questions, please let us know about the Air Force. Yeah, comment down below. Comment, please. Likes,
subscribe,
all that stuff. Yeah. But you guys have any questions, let us know about Air Force, real estate, things like that. You know, we're always open to questions and you know, meeting new people. So thank you very much.
You have a great day. Bye bye.